Some 10-year-old girls like to play with Barbies. Others apparently prefer Berettas. You're about to meet the poster child for the Pink Gun, Pink Ammo set as America's red-hot gun industry sets its sights on a new target market, females. Sometimes very, very young females. Here's ABC's Rena Ninen.
10-year-old Shyanne Roberts loves pink and purple. Pink and purple guns, that is. Yes, this fearless fifth grader from New Jersey wields an AR-15 like a grown-up pro. She's so good that over 20 gun maker sponsors give her ammunition and semi-automatic weapons to compete with nationally.
So what kind of gun is this?
Beretta 1301, 12 gauge.
Okay. The gun is actually bigger than you.
A little bit.
And this holiday season, it seems that guns are on a lot of Santa lists. This year's Black Friday shopping frenzy led to one of the highest gun sales in recorded history, with more than 175,000 background checks, according to the FBI, nearly 3 times the daily average. And the newest customer profile might surprise you, women and young girls, a trend that the industry is happily catering to with feminine touches. It makes sense considering women's participation in shooting sports has surged over the last decade. Indeed, this is no longer just a man's game, or an adult's game for that matter.
For so long, people thought guns are just more of a boys' thing, not really for girls.
Girls can do whatever boys can do.
Shyanne started shooting when she was just 5 years old. Now she's one of the shooting world's youngest rising female stars, with her own Facebook fan page and YouTube channel. Her biggest fan and supporter is, of course, her father, Dan.
Is that a brand new 1301?
Yeah.
Are you happy?
Yeah.
When did you realize that she had talent?
Probably when she's about 6.5, 7 years old. When they start calling their shots and they tell you where it's going to hit before they do it, that's usually a pretty good sign that they know what they're doing.
Cheyenne also enjoys all the normal kid stuff, too. But by far, her favorite pastime is this. She showed me how she handles her guns, and trust me, it seems like a lot for a little girl to handle.
This is my 9mm. It does have a little bit of recoil, so it does come up a little bit.
All this makes me very nervous. Very nervous. If my daughter was handling a gun, I don't know, I'd feel very nervous. Is it okay that I feel a little anxious about this?
A little bit. I mean, yes, it is scary when you're going into guns that are very powerful.
Yeah.
If you learn how to handle them right and not hurt yourself, it's not scary at all. It's actually pretty fun.
Robert says his daughter's safety is his first priority.
You teach them early that it can be a very dangerous thing, to empower them to know what to do and what not to do. And you cut down these accidents drastically.
We're on our way to Georgia right now for my big match.
We followed her to Brunel's Lady 3-Gun Challenge in Georgia, the first national women's competition of its kind. 200 women's shooters from around the country have come to compete for the 2-day event. Courses include an old-school Western shootout and more modern lifelike scenarios where the woman jumps out of minivans and shoots human silhouettes. Cheyenne is the youngest, but not the only girl there. Tom Stewart and his 12-year-old daughter, Maddie, drove all the way from Wisconsin.
I mean, I can't go play soccer with her. I can take her to practice, but I can't play with her. I mean, this is one of the few that we can actually compete together and against each other.
Lena Michlik-Affentool is one of the top women shooters in the country. Like Cheyenne, she started competing at just 8 years old, and she says that's not too young at all.
I don't think you can establish an age on it because no child is the same maturity.
But some gun safety advocates think there should be more age restrictions. When we met up with Cheyenne the night before her final match, she showed us her bruises.
Shotgun gave me a huge bruise starting here and then it ends here.
They're not adults. They don't have the physical strength, necessarily the coordination to handle very, very powerful weapons.
Leah Gunn Barrett runs an anti-gun violence organization and says kids and guns are a bad, potentially dangerous mix. She blames the industry for the trend toward younger shooters.
They're trying to market them to children, they're trying to market them to women, and they're doing this for a very simple reason: profit.
accidents do happen, even with proper training. In 2008, an 8-year-old boy fired an Uzi, and it recoiled and killed him. And just 4 months ago, a shooting instructor in Arizona was killed when a 9-year-old girl, seen here, shot a fully automatic machine gun under close supervision. There is no federal law prohibiting children from ranges.
Do you think, though, that there should be any red lines with kids and guns?
The Arizona situation was a tragedy, but that had nothing to do with the child. That was the instructor. He made significant fundamental safety errors.
What did you think when you heard that story?
It's very devastating, but I wouldn't just give up my sport just because she did that. And if she had the right training and if he was standing in the right position, that wouldn't happen.
There is no minimum age for possession of a long gun, which is a rifle or shotgun. 20 states and the District of Columbia have set their own laws ranging from 14 in Montana to 21 in Illinois. But in the remaining 30 states, it is technically legal for a child to possess a long gun.
Do you think that the guns were too big, too powerful for you?
No.
Why do you feel so confident about that?
Because if you lean into it, it's not going to have that much recoil.
You got bruised up a little bit, huh?
Yes.
How do you feel about fully automatic weapons?
I haven't shot one yet, and I'm not sure what it feels like. And if I got the chance to, I would like to try one.
You would?
Yes.
Shyanne has in fact been advocating for fewer gun restrictions.
Guns don't do anything by themselves.
And has testified before the New Jersey state legislature, vocalizing her stance.
You know, I think of parents who say this about soccer games or football or dance competitions.
It's the same thing.
But we're talking about guns.
Well, so what? It's still the same thing.
But I don't think of kids dying with a soccer ball or ballet shoes.
We were at a match where there were over 650 firearms present, and there wasn't even a paper cut.
Shyanne didn't win the competition in the end, but she said she enjoyed meeting the pros and is looking forward to her next match.
Kids and guns don't always mean bad things, and I'm trying to reinforce that kids can shoot if they get taught the right way.
For Nightline, I'm Rena Ninen in Franklinville, New Jersey.